Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot. It's Good Friday today, and I am sending all of you who are celebrating Easter the very best wishes on this very holy day. We're unfortunately looking at a not very holy topic today when it comes to the royals. This royal is, of course, Prince Harry, and this is a rumor that has come from Bark Jack. Many of you will know about Bark Jack. It's a Twitter account run by two Italians who've been in the PR game for a very long time, claim to have very good Hollywood connections, and sometimes they have interesting little tidbits to tell. Most of the time they don't. But anyway, this one is interesting and rather concerning if you are a supporter of Prince Harry. And this is a story about a dinner party a few weeks ago. It's described as an adult dinner party, and it seems to be only men present, so you can imagine what kind of dinner party it was. Anyway, according to Bark Jack, Harry allegedly was on some sort of hallucinogenic substance and was having a bad trip, got more and more anxious, more and more agitated. He didn't eat dinner. Things got worse, and his security man and some random producer and one of Markle's guy friends had to help counsel him through, and then they all left. And the next day a message was sent to the host, very apologetic from Harry. He swore he would focus on his health, and the people who were at this event told Bark Jack that they suspect Harry wanted the connection to his old life more than ever, that he's basically very depressed. There's some speculation it might have been at Brian Robbins' house, the Paramount guy. There's some speculation that the unnamed friend might have been Marcus Anderson, but as I say, that's all just speculation, and so we have to say allegedly. I have the Urban Tarot on the tarot table. I've read many times on Harry's alleged drug problem. This sounds pretty serious. He looked off his face in Ukraine in some of the photos. He looked pretty rough at the Invictus Games. He looks pretty rough wherever he is at this point. I don't know how many days he actually spends when he's not high on something. That's my opinion. We're going to have a look at this with the Urban Tarot. Haven't used this tarot in a while. And we're going to ask what condition he was in at that dinner party. Allegedly, we're going to ask about his depression around losing all connection with his friends, his family, his old life in the UK. We're going to ask how serious his drug problem is. This sounded very serious. We're going to ask what are Meghan and Doria up to in this? How complicit are they? How concerned are they? What's their involvement in this situation? You would think that a loving wife would have had an intervention by now, and he would be in rehab. That sounds like where he needs to be, if there's any truth to this rumor. And then, of course, we're going to ask how the royal family feel about this. Are they concerned? They're treating him with kid gloves, particularly the king, not doing any of the things that people are really shouting for him to do, like taking Harry out of the line of succession, taking his titles away, shutting Meghan Markle down with all her merching, trading on her royal connections. Obviously very nervous of doing anything like that, possibly because of consequences if Harry is really this drug-addled, this fragile, and in this much trouble mentally. And then we're going to ask where this is heading. Yeah, I think we've got the cards. And let's remind you, tarot for entertainment purposes, or my opinion, or speculation. And just read energy here. And disclaimer in the box below. See what's going on with Harry. As I say, this is an allegedly story, but we're going to take it at face value and see what the cards have to tell us. Maybe he was in fine form at the dinner party, nothing to worry about, nothing to see. Tarot was soon enough to tell us. Okay, we've got the Three of Cups as our underlying energy, which is the party card. So I do think there was a party, so I think that much is true. An adult party. Interesting, don't you think? And so Meghan definitely not at this party, according to the source, the comments under the original tweet. Three of Cups, party card, having a good time, indulging, celebrating, hanging out with friends. There you get it. Can tend very much towards overindulgence. I wouldn't say abundance. I would say indulgence or overindulgence would be a better keyword. As you know, who've watched me a while on this channel, when I read with these cards, I do tend to get disagree sometimes with the keywords, but I find the information in these cards quite interesting, especially in this kind of context, because of the kinds of cards that are in this deck. Our situation we're dealing with, and we've got the Three of Wands, and it's in reverse. The Three of Wands is, there's the fire truck, virtue, all that kind of stuff, bravery. That's an interesting kind of theme for the Three of Wands. Not really my idea of it, again, but it is the sense of expansion and going out and doing positive, life-affirming acts, the Three of Wands. It's interesting we've got threes here. That means that you're in a social kind of environment where you're mingling with people more than just a couple environment in tarot. So it's very interesting that we've got this kind of dynamic, and this card is in the reverse. So instead of being kind of spreading yourself around in an expansive and positive way, it's retreating, it's withdrawing, it's shriveling, it's withering. That would be the being cut off from his connections in the UK. That there's now such distance between Harry and his old friends, his old life, his old way of being, that he's kind of shrinking and shriveling and withdrawing, and his life is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and possibly as his life gets smaller and smaller and smaller, his consumption of various substances gets more and more and more. That's my speculation, of course, and just my opinion. So let's look at the state he was in at this dinner party, allegedly. What do the cards want to tell us? And we've got the Eight of Wands. Now, it says swiftness. It's a movement card. It's an accelerating energy. It's normally the Ace of Wands is about communicating, but about spreading a message out, and it's about unblocking, and sometimes it can be like venting, expressing yourself when you've been repressed for a while. And that's the energy that's coming through for me. I'm not getting panic, crisis, all that kind of stuff that they're describing here in this tweet. I'm getting more the sense that things escalated, things got out of hand, because possibly had all these repressed emotions and things, and they got the better of him, and they accelerated, and they got spread out in such a way that he couldn't conceal them from people. They were noticed, they were observed. It's a kind of unplugging energy and bursting out. So if you are repressed, you've got all these emotional problems, and they've been churning away in you for all this time, and you suddenly just vent, and it's embarrassing. It could be that kind of situation where you cry in front of people, and you tell them all your troubles, and you wake up the next morning think, oh no, what was I thinking? What did I do? What did I say? That's the kind of energy that's coming from that card. It's not terrible. It's not crisis, but we're going to ask the question again a bit later in this reading. I want to know about this depression around losing his connections in the UK, what the cards can tell us about that, an ongoing question for us here. And we have the Judgment card in reverse. It's called the Eon in this tarot, and of course it's that memorial wall where the Twin Towers were in Manhattan, and it's Judgment. It's in reverse. Is a very tricky card for this kind of context, because it's not, it's kind of memorializing people, but you're never going to have contact with them again. It's quite a kick in the guts. For me, energetically, I'm expressing not my energy, of course, I'm expressing his energy, that this is what has been lost. And it's a tremendous loss. And I don't want to diminish the actual loss depicted in this card by relating it to Prince Harry. I mean, no disrespect at all. Please understand that completely. But for him, he has lost all that was precious to him, and he's not going to get it back again. And I think he's beginning to realize that. He is a bit thick, and it does take a long time for the penny to drop, with it has been far longer than any normal, rational, sane, sober person would take. But we're not dealing with the sane, sober person, allegedly. 3 of Cups, abundance card, but not, it's the indulgence card. He's not going to have this again in his life. There's no second chance with this. And he knows it. This is much worse than that. This energy, which is why I think this was added into this tweet, that the people who were there, who saw what happened, said that it's really that he's missing his old life, that this is why he's in such bad shape. And possibly medicating the way he's medicating, or in denial the way he's in denial. So let's have a look at how serious his drug problem is based on this story. We don't know how true the story is, but we've got some evidence that there might be some truth to it. How bad is it? I've got the Hanged Man. It's in reverse. Okay, the Hanged Man is Neptune. It's Neptunian energy. Neptune, as those of you who are into astrology know, rules drugs. It rules delusion and depression and disappointment and all those very difficult things, confusion, really having no identity, kind of disappearing, getting lost in drugs, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. You can see from the way this man is depicted in this picture that he's lost. It's very serious. I'm going to read this card, this reversal, as very, very serious. That he has almost no grasp of reality at this point. That his world is so jangled and so upside down and so twisted and tormented that he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know anything at this point. It's very far gone, this problem. That's my opinion. Very disturbing card in the context of this reading. Very, very, very disturbing. Megan and Doria, a lot of people speculate that Doria might be the one providing or some of these substances or encouraging the use. Where are they in this? Are they like, go ahead, we don't care, or you really need to stop this, you've got young children in the house, what's going on, you can't behave like this? A normal person would be very, very concerned and doing everything in their power to get him the right help or get him to see things more clearly. I've got a lot of energy in this reading of not seeing things clearly. The Hanged Man. Also the Eon card, the Judgment card, is about awakening and realizing, self-realization, that kind of stuff. In reverse, not seeing what he needs to see. So where are they in this? Allegedly, in my opinion, tarot, blah, blah. And we have the 7, and I always have to figure out what we are dealing with now. We are dealing with the 7 of Pentacles in this one. And it's in reverse. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry, don't use this tarot deck very often, and I do have to check myself with it sometimes because it's erratic in the way it sometimes describes cards. And as I say, I just have to make sure that I'm giving you the right energy here. And I am, absolutely. So it's called Failure. And in reverse, this tells me it's the 7 of Pentacles, the 7 years of marriage, the 7 years of life with him basically is viewed as a failure. He's viewed as a failure. It's about investments, this card. Normally, what you put into a situation, what you're getting out of it, has it been worth your while? Are you getting the right return on investments? You take stock, you think, okay, I've got enough, or no, I don't have enough. This is in reverse. They're looking at the situation. They're looking at him like he's the biggest loser that ever walked the face of the earth. And that time spent with him is a waste of time. This is my opinion. This is a tarot reading. This is just speculation. So I'm getting from this card that they're looking at the situation and can't be bothered to do anything to sort it out. That's how I'm reading this. And I could be entirely wrong. This is my energy reading and my opinion. But it's very negative. It means that right where he most needs it, at home, his closest confidants, allegedly, are not interested in helping him. Couldn't be bothered. They're over it. My opinion. How about the royal family? We've got the Seven of Swords here. Their view of the situation. This card is described as futility. Again, a bit of an odd keyword. The Seven of Swords is the coward card, the runaway card, the ghosting, the thief card. Traditionally in tarot, it's doing things that are shady, even potentially illegal, taking what's not yours, running away, disappearing. It's also a card of illness, because this can run invisibly through the body and do damage. So I often say that when we're reading on certain health situations in the royal family. And of course, what Harry has is really a disease, if it's to the extent that it looks like from this reading and from his behavior around and about, the state that we see him in all the time. So I'm getting, my opinion, that the royal family think that they're dealing with someone who has an illness, but they're also dealing with someone who's in denial about it and running away from the truth, hiding from the truth, trying not to get caught out, doesn't want to confront it, doesn't want to acknowledge what is wrong with him. Very difficult situation for a family to deal with. If you're dealing with someone like that in your own life, very difficult to deal with, because they're more inclined to cut you off, deny it, disappear, and find people who will support them rather than listen to you. So the royal family are in a pickle. Harry's in a pickle. The royal family's in a pickle too. Where is this heading for Harry? Where is this heading? Yeah, he's got a big fall coming. It's the Six of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. It's called the Success card. Again, strange to describe the Six of Pentacles in that way. It's a sharing card. It's reciprocity. It's being in a state of equanimity, the Six of Pentacles, because it's equal give and take. It's sharing. It's contributing. It would be in Harry's environment, it would be being connected with people and that good give and take that you have with friends and family. You can share your problems, you can get advice from people, you can give them advice. It's that kind of energy. People will share your ups and downs with you. That's the way I'm interpreting this card in this particular context. It's in reverse. It tells me that his life is going to get more and more out of balance. He's going to get more and more isolated, that he needs more from people and is able to give less and less to people and to situations as the situation escalates. I'm not getting a radical crisis in this energy, in this, where is it heading? I'm getting that his world is going to continue to shrink. He's going to continue to be more and more isolated, more self-absorbed. There's an energy in the Six of Pentacles when it's in reverse of being particularly self-absorbed, self-centered. You don't have enough to share with other people. You only have what you yourself can consume, becoming fixated on the little that you have and that you're going to keep to yourself and use for yourself. So he's going to become worse and worse as a human being, as a person to hang out with. He's going to become less and less pleasant to hang out with. I mean, if he's done this in front of Hollywood producers and people like that, cringe. These are people that Meghan and he might have had deals with Paramount. They've been trying to schmooze the Paramount connection in case the Netflix one goes south. He's just destroyed that, for instance. If he's behaving like this at those kinds of gatherings, he's really making his name mud. He's going to be very unwelcome around and about. He's already unwelcome in the UK. He's going to be even more unwelcome in LA circles and the kind of industry circles that he's mixing in, because Meghan is pushing him to mix in those circles. It's going to go badly for him, but it doesn't look like the disaster is upon us yet. There is a disaster in this card, though, in this Hanged Man. It looks very bad when I look at that card energetically. That's the reading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.